Hey, thanks for taking a minute to watch this video about stop failing at your goals. So the big reason that I created my planner and I started learning about how healthy habits are formed is because uh, a big part of my adult history was having a really important goal and then failing at it. And so I wanted to know the science behind goal making and what's kind of happening behind the scenes and how goals are formed. So if you're watching this, you've probably most likely failed at goals yourself, and it's really discouraging. And failing at a goal can make us not want to return to it and just stay where we're comfortable even though it's not serving us. And so I can definitely relate to this in probably most of my 20s. Uh, I would get really excited for a day or two and change my diet and not see anything happening. So I'd just be like, okay, I'm going back to what I was doing before. Or I would start a new workout routine and do it for a day and then just get really overwhelmed and either go back to not working out at all or just doing something so minimal just because I was lazy. And so graduating from Institute of Integrative Nutrition and really learning a lot about the science of healthy habits and how to start them, but also how to unlearn the habits that don't serve us really helped me. And this is the groundwork of my planner. So if you've never heard of the words neural pathways before, these are the little grooves in our brains that get deeper and deeper and deeper with repetition. So it has to be a habit. It could be a good habit, it could be a bad habit. So if you're like me and a few times a year get into the salty crunchy habit around 9 p.m., that means that you've built a neural pathway for that. You know, you do it once and it's fine. You do it twice and all of a sudden it's like, okay, this is my new habit, and then you just get into your groove. But in the same token, it could be not having worked out for a really long time and doing something small but really satisfying, and your brain gets that sense of, okay, I did it and I want to do it again and I want to do it again. And so maybe you get 3 days in a week and it's like, oh my gosh, okay, this is actually working, so I'm going to keep on building on it. Have you ever left work and all of a sudden ended up in your driveway and you're like, how did I get here? That's because you formed a neural pathway to get home without even thinking of it. The more and more we do things, the less and less energy we need to do them. So to unlearn habits that don't serve us, I like to call this crowding out. Because if you take my things away from me, my favorite things, even if they're unhealthy, I'm going to retaliate and I'm going to want more. But if you tell me just do a little bit less, it's going to be a little different for me. I'm going to respond differently. So if it's eating habits that are making you feel like you're going back into that failure zone, think about what you can crowd in. So maybe it's more vibrant, healthy, clean, colorful food, and then really slowly, gently start to crowd out the stuff that isn't serving you. Whether it be mental habits, stress related things, what are your triggers, and do you have any control over them? What are the things that happen in your day to day, and can you control if you wake up earlier or go to bed earlier or give yourself time in the morning before you get to work so you don't drag a bad mood through the day or something like that? Workout related, same exact thing. So these neural pathways that we begin to build when we create repetition will help us not to fail at our goals. But also, I just want to make it clear that all of us are going to have speed bumps. All of us are going to have crappy days that kind of get us off of that well-being wagon, so to speak. And I think it's really, really important that we don't throw in the towel then, that we don't call it quits then. And I like to use the words recovery time, right? Okay, so they use those words a lot in sports, but I think it's really important here too. So if you have a crappy day eating, or a weekend where you wanted to work out and you didn't, or you're into this really healthy morning routine and then you don't do it for 3 days, Rather than say, okay, I've failed at this, I'm throwing in the towel. Starting small again to get back into it. And every time you do this, rather than throw the towel in, you make your recovery time shorter. And this is really, really important because even this weekend, I just had I felt like a crazy day of like celebrating with food, and it made Sunday really hard. And then even yesterday was kind of hard, just getting back into my groove of the things that make me feel good and vibrant and balanced. But knowing that I've done it in the past and knowing that I can do it again has helped me to make my recovery time short rather than drag it on and let this snowball effect happen, right? Because we've all been there. Well, I didn't do that thing, and now I'm just going to do this other thing that doesn't serve me and this other thing that doesn't serve me, and it all piles up. So this is just a little tidbit for you today, and these are the kind of workshops, these mini workshops that I'm going to be doing at my Empowered Retreat in May, and I'd absolutely love to have you. The little mini workshops are about 35 minutes, and the rest of the day, besides our morning yoga and a little bit of meditation, is really up to you how you want to spend it. If you want to be at the beach, if you want to be at the pool, if you want to be horseback riding or surfing or kite surfing, there's so many options, and this retreat is just getting us to a place where we can be challenged to grow, where we can peel off some of the layers that don't serve us and come back a refreshed version of ourselves. So I really appreciate your time. If you have any questions about recovery time or not failing at your goals, but also about joining me on my retreat, I would absolutely love to talk to you. Have a great day.